Hello and welcome back, folks. I'm here once more again, and today for another figure review, as we're going to be doing the unboxing and review of my latest acquired Black Series figure. This one is going to be the Phase 1 Clone Trooper Captain Rex that we see during the events of the Ahsoka show, during the flashback, if I remember correctly, because we do see Rex with Anakin and younger Ahsoka during that flashback when Ahsoka was, I think, remembering something during like a little flashback right here. And this is actually my very first Phase 1 Captain Rex I actually do have, because technically speaking, as I showed before, I do have another Rex figure as well. This is going to be the Phase 2 Rex that we see. This one right here is the one that we see during the Bad Batch. For those who want to know, a little bit, you can see already right now a little bit of differences between the armor stuff as Phase 2, or the Bad Batch version of Rex doesn't no longer has shoulder pauldrons, which I kind of missed that, but I still like the design of this really a lot. But yeah, so this is the differences between the Phase 1 and Phase 2. As I am going to do a little bit more comparison between them once I go through the video, but I just want to do a little bit of show that I do technically have a version of Rex, but I do also have more clone troopers as well, so I'll probably do the versions of all of them when I do the review. So without further ado, folks, let's dive right in with the unboxing of the figure. And we are back, and now time to do the unboxing of the figure. As a lot of times these figures are actually pretty simple and easy. A lot of times they usually basically go from the top. These are taped the weights for make sure they're sealed and protected. Make sure nobody does any what's called any shenanigans and try to steal stuff. Because I've seen basically people open these up, leave the figures, not for a lot of the good figures, but a lot of the bad figures. Usually usually take the weaponry and the equipment and just leave the figure by itself. Which I've seen this a lot of times where like a lot of the Inquisitor figures, they just take the lightsabers and just leave the figure itself. So it's basically like, I tell people, it's like, well, they took the weaponry, but they still leave the figure. And so I'm like, what's it called? You should probably mark it down because now it's lost a piece. Which a lot of the stores basically telling, well, we're still gonna mark it as is, which is kind of sad thing, but you can't really do anything about that. So before we take them out of this little plastic container right here, and overall we actually see Rex looking pretty good. So actually hair is actually a little bit more blonde right here. What's it called? Actually, let me show you over here on my basically Bad Batch version of Rex right here. You can see the both head pieces right here. They actually re-blonde them a little bit more here versus on the Bad Batch one. I guess that's the way to kind of see them in these, basically in the series. I will say the sculpting for the Tamara Morrison sculpting for the face actually looks pretty nice. Though I can see the little bit differences they do in the sculpting overall. You can see right there, a little bit differences. I'll do a little bit more of that when we go through a review and when we get them out the little plastic. So without further ado, let's get them out the plastic. So I'm going to do this one real quick. And boom, taking out the plastic. Ooh. I know, not all of them out of plastic. I still need to take out the I need to still take out the blasters, handheld blasters, and the helmet. Being a little bit. There we go. Let's put Rex's helmet on. Let's put his Phase 1 helmet on, which, not gonna lie, I do like the designs of Phase 1. Like, I don't mind Phase 2. I like it, like I said before. I do like the designs for the Clone Trooper. It's like, when it comes to, like, I guess more, like, sci-fi-esque series, I do generally prefer the Clone Troopers armored compared to the Imperial Stormtroopers. Well, then again, I mean, one came before the other, but regardless, I do kind of like the designs of these a little bit much more. Oh no, is my battery? Yeah, give me a second. I think the batteries are dying on my. I think the batteries are dying on my little, what's it called, this my little rotator. I had to swap those out a little bit, but you can see right here, overall, out of the box, Captain Rex looks pretty clean. And as we can see before, it is basically, pretty sure this is like one of the battles where basically it has full clean armor compared to like the other version that we saw here with my Phase 2 battle damaged Rex right here, who's been through battle, hasn't had his armor cleaned up right here. And you can basically see the differences between both of them, which, not gonna lie, I really do like. I do like I really do like designs for both of these. I will say the other difference too, like between the Phase 2 one, this right here is actual cloth right here. Like right here, it's not something that's customized or whatnot. For the Bad Batch one, they actually did give us like a actual cloth here, which is actually pretty nice. I actually kind of do like this. Versus here on the Phase 1 version for the Ahsoka series, I'm pretty sure, I want to say the older one probably had it, because I do have another ARC Trooper as well. So right here we have rubber cloths, which it's not bad. Some of my other figures, Star Wars figures, kind of do have this too. Some of my Boba Fett ones kind of do have that. Overall, not bad at all. But overall, let's see the sleek figure. You can see the helmet here, design-wise. I always do love the Phase 1 helmets because they kind of, because what's called, they remind me of basically Spartan helmets. Greek Spartan helmets. That's what I'm going with. It's not Halo ones. Those are all different ones. But you know what I'm talking about with the way design, and that's where technically what they're generally design wise. I do like the whole armor stuff, the pauldron and stuff too. A lot of the armor basically remains the same right here. The pauldron here is removable once I remove the head. All the shoulders, everything's pretty fine. Everything on the waist looking pretty good. Overall, nice looking figure, I do say so myself. And the joints for these should be pretty fine. There might be some joint stoppage a little bit just because of the shoulder armor, but I could probably remove that just to give it more freeway. But these armors should be more... Okay, so it does have rotating armor. Okay, so they did change a little bit of the shoulder armors, as they do have like a rotating cuff right there to basically doesn't allow it to be stuck or bound to it, which actually is not bad at all, which is what we want for our figures. I'm going to do say so myself. And actually, spin around is actually pretty nice. Okay, so they did some upgrades, so that's actually pretty good. Over here on the joints, a little bit stiff right here because technically it's a new figure, but it's able to do its double joints as it showed us. This is technically multiple armor plates right here for the figure itself, which is not bad. And I can spin around. I wonder which side has the, there we go. I was going to try to figure out which side has the up and down, which is not bad at all. Figure's able to move around, not bad at all. Which is what we want for a figure, to have the possibility that it needs to basically go around. Trying to move actually just a little bit more up so we can actually be able to go around. I think the shoulder armor right here is kind of blocking it a little bit, but it's fine. I just got to tinker it around just to make it move. But if I remove the shoulder armor, it should be fine. Kind of like with my Phase 2 one. Overall, the joints is a little bit stiff, but as a new figure, you're kind of expecting that. But still, decent joints is what we want. Overall, pretty good, if I do say so myself. He does have the ab joints. He has actually his torso joint too, which is pretty great. It's what we want with a lot of our figures. And this works really well when it comes to armored figures, because you see the different layers between the armor, which is what we want. What's it called? I don't think... Does the torso not turn? Okay, so he does not have a... Weird. Okay, that might be the first time I'm actually noticing that the torso for these guys did not move at all. That might be something I just recently learned. Oh, weird. Now, I guess that's me basically being used to SH Figure Arts and Figmas and other figures that can move their torsos, but I guess it's only upper mid torso that can move, which is fine. Let's see in the legs. Let's see if we can do. And once again, this is the one thing I kind of do hate about the little plastic covers for when they do like the little, damn, I forget what you call it, cardos or something. God damn, I forgot what they're called for the cloth for the skirt armor. But because of the plastic, kind of makes it a little bit tough to basically bend or do splits. I mean, they're not supposed to, but what's it called? I do know with the Phase 2 version of this one, technically speaking, I mean, the armor design kind of still blocks it, but still, I kind of do like, not gonna lie. And one of the things I will say is, I think having the actual cloth actually makes it a little bit much more better in my opinion. Overall, I still like the armor designs for everything else. The figure still looks pretty great. And like I said before, the sculpting for the face is really, really good. And they really did do the Tamora Morrison figure sculpting on the head pretty nice. So I feel like, though I do say this, I think for almost all the clone troopers, I think they just changed his head sculpting just a little bit. Like, let's take off Phase 2 version. Ooh. Let's take out the Phase 2 version. You can see side by side between both faces right there, how they're a little bit just, I mean, they're basically the same face, but they just changed just a little bit just to make it work, which is not bad. I mean, they do this with a lot of the other clone troopers, like, besides these two Captain Rexes. Let me go show you guys another one right now. And like I said before, where are you? I'm trying to find... I can't do this as Cody. I mean, technically I do have Cody here, but sadly, this is actually one of the Clone Commander Codys that does not have a head at all. It's just basically just regular. It's just regular Cody with just the helmet on. It's just one of the Black Series that basically just kind of feels like a little bit unfinished. Like right here on the waist torso. I don't know if this is actually how Cody's armor actually looks with the little gray, but I kind of feel like they kind of missed the spot right here on painting the rest of this orange and whatnot. So I have no clue. This is how he is on the regular show and whatnot. But there's also one of the versions of the Clone Troopers where he's basically just the helmet, no extra head right there. Which is kind of nice, but it's also fine too for Cody right there. But I was actually trying to find Captain Bly. So give me 1 second, folks. Okay, here we go. I was trying to find Captain Bly, and here he is right here. Move Rex's helmet a little bit. Let me move Rex's helmet a little bit to the front right here. So getting all my, what's it called? All my, I guess, ARC Troopers, technically speaking. Because technically speaking, they're all technically ARC Troopers right here. But you can see right here, actually, with talking about the Klaus Carta, this is what I mean by a lot of probably the older Black Series figures, or especially for a lot of the older guys, kind of had these versions when they started off, which I do not mind, because I actually do kind of like design for this. when it comes to like the whole Art Trooper design. Later down the line, I guess for Rex, they actually made these cost a little much more, and they added like a little more edit on the top to make it a little more tougher, which I actually do kind of like design for this one too. I don't hate the plastic design of this for this one. It makes it a little bit much more tough for this, but I also kind of makes it kind of like a little bit more uniform, but kind of also feel like it's a little more restrictive. And also, what's it called? And also this is all attached onto the belt, whereas over here you see in the Phase 2 Captain Rex, the belt and the basic holsters are basically connected together, and the Carta skirt is basically separate, which I kind of do like. It's like the difference. It's the difference that they kind of make changes. Sometimes they make good changes with Black Series figures. Sometimes they make kind of stuff that's kind of like, you kind of made it a little bit better on the previous figure. Overall, I still don't hate this. I still like the design for this. Still pretty good too. Just like there's some things that I kind of like feel like they kind of like do a little bit backwards. So when it comes to like character designs, and going with some more clone troopers, I do have a bunch of them right here. I've been going with another Phase 1 trooper because technically speaking, with Captain Rex, he is technically my second Phase 1 trooper that I actually do have. So putting off the helmets back for everybody. Right here. Oh, and we have troopers down. That's fine. So let's move away from Phase 2 troopers. Technically speaking, Cody's technically halfway Phase 1. Let's go with my Phase 1 troopers, as technically speaking, with the new Captain Rex figure I got, he is my second Phase 1 character that I do have, and right here we have my very first Phase 1 Clone Commander, because I'm pretty sure it's Clone Commander. I'm pretty sure this is also, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure this one is the one that we see in the series, or in the second movie. This is the one that we see. I'm pretty sure this is Cody that we see here, but I'm not too entirely sure. Anybody who probably sees this can tell me in the comments whether or not this is Cody or not. At least that's what I was told, at least for this figure right here. I might be entirely wrong, but yeah, what's it called? But like I said before, my second Phase 1 trooper, which I'm actually surprised I actually don't have that many Phase 1 troopers. I have a bunch more Phase 2 troopers, which is fine. Overall, I still think the figures are still great. You guys should see a little bit differences between all of them. Overall, everybody basically has almost the same detail and articulation because they're kind of all based on the same mold. And the only thing I think they do change is maybe some additions to like customizing the armor shoulder joints, because right here, right here, they're stuck on there. They're basically padded on there. Rex's ones, also the other Rex version. Unlike here, we're basically moving around. These are stuck on the pauldrons. Yeah, same thing too with Bly and Cody. So basically, this Rex right here, I kind of do like, because basically the shoulder armor is a little bit movable, so we give him more ability to move around, which I actually think is pretty good. Not bad at all. Kind of reminds me of some of my Mandalorians. If I can get one of them right now. We have Bo-Katan right here, which actually is pretty funny when it comes to, remember the end of Season 1 or Season 7 for Clone Wars. So technically speaking, that will be with this Rex right here, though a little bit later, because technically it will be adding this pauldron under. Which actually, not gonna lie, I might do that for like a little bit later in the video, or another video, basically giving Rex basically all of his basically old Art Trooper stuff, which I would like to see on that one. Let's see what else. Overall, like I said before, the figure's still great. I do like it. I do like the clean look of it. Like I do not mind the more battle damage, more scratched Rex that I have right over here. I do like it, but I do like the very clean, sleek look of the Arc Trooper version of Rex right here, which I do like the very more clean design to this. But I still like the the more battle worn. There's the word for my Phase 2 Rex. Overall, still a good figure. I do like it. The sculpting for the face is pretty fine, as you can see right here. The sculpting for it is pretty great. I will say the making it more blonde for his hair actually kind of makes it a little bit much more better. As I think they didn't, if I'm going to be honest, I think it's the more the fact that in the TV show, in the series, it works better with the hair color, but when you get into like figures or whatnot, the hair, trying to make the way his hair is, especially when they say he's blonde, kind of weird, because on the Phase 2 version from the Bad Batch, he's kind of like a bleached blonde. Right here from the Ashoka version of this, it's more like kind of more, a little bit more yellow. So it's a little bit hard on how they're trying to figure out, like, okay, what kind of color blonde we want Rex to be at. I guess that's the thing. Overall, still a good figure. I think them trying to figure out what coloring of the hair is, it's going to always be like that regardless. I think this is, we're going to, if we see more Rex figures, we're going to always see that regardless. Overall, still a good figure. I do like the detail. Everything works fine. All the joints really work well. It's a little bit tough, but that's what you want for your figures, to basically be durable as we want. The blast is always good right here, as we always see. Overall, a nice little figure, and yeah. I will say this, I really actually am happy I was actually able to find this. This is like I said before when I did my loot haul. This was a random figure I found when I was going to GameStop, because I went to GameStop mainly to buy a new controller because I've been basically without a controller for a while. And there are some games that kind of require controllers, so basically what's it called? I always need to get a new controller. Yeah, and yes, I could have gotten a new controller anywhere else, but I also like going to GameStop every once in a while, because sometimes they have stuff in there and that I kind of like, and overall it's always pretty great to always go in there, because sometimes you get to see stuff that, hey, look, something I've never got to see. And yeah, overall, I think it's a good figure. If you ever get the chance to see this figure of Rex from the clones from the Ashoka series, I do recommend it. It's still a good figure. Another addition to your Clone Wars series. Let's try to get him a little bit much more better view. There we go, folks. I can see right there. Overall, nice, good figure. And yeah, I will say it is a little bit pricey. I will say that. Like, what's it called? I think it was like around 31 bucks. I think I got it for a little bit more cheap, because I think I had like one of those $10 coupons off, so I only paid like 20 bucks for them. So that's probably the reason why I got him for a little much more cheaper. But overall, still good figure. If you do see him, I do recommend him. It's another great clone figure to add to your Clone Wars collection, which I always do say so myself. And yeah, if you did like the video, folks, please consider dropping a like, share, and subscribe. I always do appreciate, folks. And always have a nice day. This is I, Power, saying out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.